James and Tatiana. We travelled, we're not from London. Yeah, 4 months ago, first session, and I had problem with my neck, C5 and C6 protrusion. Couldn't sleep well. Now I sleep all right, headaches gone, and it's just amazing.
And it did help with the pain in my neck straight away. Straight away I felt better, could sleep better, and strangely enough my eyesight got better. And all of a sudden, without even noticing, I had really bad pain in my knees. The doctor had told me I had to have knee replacements. And the pain disappeared. Years and years of pain, and all of a sudden it was gone, and it was crazy.
And so we are today the second time, and
Just feels incredible again.
It feels wow.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Further to a lifetime of health problems. I was a breech forceps delivery, and my family feel that that could well be one of the main reasons why I became ill at 17 with ME, also following several falls from horses. And I've had over 20 years of terrible headaches, chronic fatigue, and many other health problems. I've seen every healthcare professional you could imagine, from neurologists to all sorts of people looking at my teeth, TMJ problems, etc. I've had a fortune spent on osteopathy and physiotherapy, and always the problem has been that they've helped me for a short time, and then the problems have just gone straight back, and it's mystified all the doctors. I've had MRI scans, nothing has shown up on any of these procedures to indicate that the atlas may have been misaligned, but my own research on the internet, in desperation at the terrible migraine type headaches I was suffering nearly every day for certainly the past year or so, things haven't got much worse in the last year, led me to find Marie's Atlas website, and I was inspired to book an appointment with her, as I felt that the root of my problems could have been atlas misalignment. And sure enough, when I came to see her 3 weeks ago, my atlas was luxated to the right, and she was able, after some interesting massage techniques, to correct the problem. And astonishingly, 3 weeks ago I had the treatment. Since then I've had only 2 severe headaches, which is to be expected as part of the recovery process, and I've been feeling more energetic and more healthy, and I feel as if my life has recently started again. So I couldn't hesitate to recommend the treatment if you wish to improve ill health and gain a new future.
I have MS, a scoliosis, and I've had back pain for many years as a result of being a nurse and lifting patients. I had my first treatment in July last year, and I felt no difference at the time, but when I was sent for by the doctors to go and have injections into my spine to relieve the pain, I realised I had no pain. So I was able to defer those, which I haven't yet needed, and I haven't had pain in my lumbar spine since. I came because of the scoliosis more than anything else, and that has now improved immensely, and I only have symptoms when I actually get really tired. But my MS has actually been lifted quite a lot, and I'm not so tired. I don't have to rest as much.
And I just couldn't believe afterwards that I could not only hear, but I also, the balance that I'd lost came back. I was able to, when I got home, I tried standing on one leg, and then I tried touching my toes, and then I tried standing on one leg and touching my toes, and it was just, I couldn't believe it. I phoned the people on the market and said, you've got to go back and tell her, I just can't believe I've got my hearing back.
I went to the hairdressers, put my head back against the basin. I can look any way I like with my head. My whole life has changed. My back, I had 2 vertebrae sticking out, and my back was very numb, and I had to have a back operation. And since this, my back, the 2 vertebrae have pulled in on their own, and the numbness is gone, and I can't believe it. It is like a miracle, and I'm very, very pleased.
I must tell you that one of the benefits is a much better alignment. It's helping my golf game. It's helping me go for my run. It's helping me walk properly. And in general, I just feel taller. So I think all of those things, if you can have half of the results I've had, you're going to be a lucky person. Thank you.
My daughter had whiplash. She could hardly walk, and so I decided to come and see Marie-Agnes. My daughter had it done and came out, went in with fairy steps and came out walking properly.
I had my Atlas corrected yesterday, and instantly from this morning there's no sciatic pain, no pain in my neck or shoulders, and generally feeling well. I know there's still a while to go, but so far the results are brilliant, pretty amazing, so thank you very much.
When I went for my massage, my monthly massage, a week after my treatment, my masseuse said, "What have you done?" after just going up the back of my spine. And then when I laid on my back, she said, "Your neck is in a completely different position than it usually is." And the difference is absolutely amazing. And I found I couldn't sing properly as well. And since having my neck realigned, I can sing without my throat hurting.
The back pain that I had in my kind of middle upper back has virtually completely gone. I had chiropractic treatment for about a year and a half. That helped, but it didn't move the Atlas into the right position, and it didn't get rid of the back pain. So far, this seems to have reduced my back pain by 95%.
I had a whiplash car accident 40 years ago when there were no such things as osteopaths or chiropractors to go to on a regular basis, and I didn't realise what damage I had done to myself. I actually had damage to C5 and C6, which has got progressively worse. But since having the AtlasPROfilax treatment, it has really made a difference insofar as that my neck is so much looser, and the Atlas actually moves now, which it never did before because it was stuck from the injury.
Having this done, there's a particular type of pain in my neck which has tortured me unceasingly for so many years, which I just learned to come to live with. And definitely since in the ensuing weeks, it's miraculously disappeared.
I felt I could never stand straight, as if my upper torso was at one angle, and then my midriff at another angle, and then my hips at another angle, like a kind of zigzag. And it was making me feel really uncomfortable. And so the moment that the Atlas was adjusted, I felt that feeling disappear. And so the first thing I would say very clearly is that my inner flow of energy feels clear now, as if the channels are clear, that it's not uneven or unbalanced.
And I've suffered badly with severe neck pain, especially down this side of my shoulder, and I know that C7 was out in my neck. I heard about Marie from a friend of mine who had superb results, so I decided to come and try it out myself. I was very, very pleased after the first session, although I did find it deeply uncomfortable, but my neck is much more freer.
It has been miraculous. I had very sharp shooting pains in my neck and very restricted movement, and my head was always slouched downwards, and I'm actually going to do it now to show you what it was like. It was like this. My head was down and I'd lift it up, and so I always had this tension. And now, straight after the treatment, the first thing I noticed is that my head was like sitting on top of my neck, and the pains disappeared, and I don't even remember having it. And that's nothing short of a miracle.
And ever since I've had it done, my twisted pelvic has actually, gone by 100%. I can now squat effectively. Running is a lot more easier. And general, exercising and walking everything is a lot better. I would recommend it to any sports person who have had, any form of problems with, like tight hamstrings, tight calves, tight glutes. It's very, very effective.
I've noticed that the pain has now gone, that my knee pain's gone completely. My back pain is much better, And as far as the fibromyalgia pain is concerned, that seemed to come back with a bit of a vengeance one weekend, and I was quite down about it because I thought, oh, I thought I got rid of this. And then it went, and touch wood, it's not been back since, so I'm very, very hopeful of that. And I would recommend this treatment to anybody who's suffering neck, back, fibromyalgia pain, you know, anything like that. I think it definitely will help you.
And surprise, surprise, my IBS has disappeared. I don't know where it's gone, but I can eat fruit and veg quite a lot, and I've had no problem whatsoever. Also, sleeping, laying down, which is something I couldn't do for more than about 3 hours, and I'd wake up. I'm getting 7 or 8 hours a night easily. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'm very pleased.
Since I came here, I felt so much better. Before I came here, I couldn't walk straight. My legs weren't exactly helping me walk a lot, but since I came here, that's healed. I've been walking a lot more straighter.
Maria gave me her treatment just before Christmas this year, and I can honestly say I have never been so impressed by a treatment ever. I am completely cured of back and neck pain. I feel a bit taller and I can highly recommend it.
I came to see Marie because I was actually having a lot of pain in the back of my head, migraines and headaches. I went to my GP, they couldn't help me, had various tests in the National Health System, and they were unable to discover why I was actually getting so much pain. I had x-rays which didn't reveal anything very helpful. I saw Marie's advert in a local magazine and decided to come and see Marie. Since the treatment, the headaches that I used to have gone. The pressure around my ears has gone. I can actually breathe better. My lower back doesn't hurt anymore, and overall my symptoms have definitely eased, so I'm quite pleased.
Yes, I'm very pleased because before I came, my daughter noticed I was really lopsided, but now I can straighten my shoulders and my skirts look normal. They look quite nice instead of going around looking like this with my waist a bit down like that. I've now got a nice straight waist, and it looks much better. I'm very pleased with it.
My neck felt much better after the treatment, and I could walk straighter, and I felt higher and taller, and it was very good. And my knee, well, usually when I walked it used to hurt a little bit, but now it feels much better and it's not hurting as much as it was.
I'm so happy to have this treatment because I have a really painful back. I had a scoliosis in my back and I just couldn't stand. So, and I came to see Mary, and one treatment after, next day I had a fantastic change in my life. My back became straight, and before was really bad, and I had, as I told you, a scoliosis, and now it's wonderful, and I couldn't be happier. So if everyone can do this, please do it.
46 years ago I was knocked over by a motorbike and dragged along the road. So there's a very, very strong, powerful bash on the left of my head. And from then on, I felt as if I'd been out of my skin, as if I was shifted to the side, and I began to limp, and the right shoulder came up. And now, at last, I've found what I've been asking osteopaths, chiropractors, people like that for, is some way of getting the top of my spine to be straight again. And the Atlas work has made an incredible difference within 24 hours, and I think this will go on. So I'm calling on everybody who has some kind of head injury to think about having this work done. It's wonderful. Thank you.
I do suffer with a jaw problem, TMJD, which I think a lot of people have had in the past. I had pain in the back of my head on and off for about 3 years, and really ruining my life really. Couldn't really function properly at all with pain at the back here. I tried chiropractic and osteopathy and physiotherapy, and nothing really made any difference for any length of time. It would last for a few days. And then about a month ago I had treatment with Marie, and after about 3 or 4 days the pain in the back of my head just went completely off, and I haven't had it since. I've still got a few pains around the jaw, but about 80% better than before I came, so I'm really, really pleased with the results.
Georgina was diagnosed with vertebrae brachiobrachia and migraines and was ill, I think, every day for over a year, and she had been ill very regularly for 3 years, and we were at our wits' end. We had tried every alternative therapy, which she was on, anti-epileptic drugs, she was on everything under the sun, and she's only 17 years old. So when I heard about Maria, I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try. It made sense. It was hitting somewhere near the hypothalamus, and her migraine started in her neck, and she would pass out, she would lose her memory, she would vomit, she would feel dizzy. We'd have all those every day. I came to see Maria. Georgina had the treatment, said, oh yes, that was very nice. Went home, she went to bed, got up in the morning, came running down the stairs and said, Mum, for the first time ever, I didn't feel dizzy when I got out of bed. And that has carried on. She has been fantastic. Not only have her migraines not disappeared, that would be a lie. Instead of having some symptom every single day, she now has had 8 episodes in 2 months. So for her, that is 90% improvement. It's just fantastic. But on top of that, her personality has gone back to what I knew her as a child. She is full of life. She has far more energy. She can concentrate on her schoolwork, and we've had huge problems getting her through at GCSEs, and she's on A-levels now. So hopefully we've just hit her in time. And as I say, she's just a different child.
I've had the AtlasPROfilax by Marie, and my life has changed quite a lot since then, because by yoga that I used to do beforehand, I found some of the positions very painful. But now, having had the realignment, the yoga is so much easier, and I feel that much more flexible, and my shoulders feel a lot better than before, and I just feel I can stand more upright, and it's absolutely been fabulous.
And I woke up, went to the toilet, and came back, and I said to Judy, that's absolutely unbelievable. I'm not actually, I've got no pain at all in my leg. It was just as though I'd been up and about walking for a couple of hours. And I said, well, and come to think of it, it was the same yesterday on Sunday. I just didn't think about it on the Sunday. And 3 months on, it's been exactly the same. So all the stiffness I felt from lying down, stroke, being on a settee has gone. So that was hugely noticeable, and has changed my life dramatically.
I came to Agnes, and within 3 or 4 days, I felt much better. I remember coming to Agnes on the 7th of September 2010, and after the treatment, within 2 days, I felt so much better that I just wondered why it's taking the NHS so long to recommend patients to come to her clinic. I will ask anyone who is in pain to come to this clinic to try it for themselves. There's no doubt about it. This is now the cure for the future.
It was just amazing. After the session, I could stand up better, my head was higher, I could breathe better. Those were the things I noticed straight away, and the next morning I didn't have to do my usual 1 hour lying in bed before I could get up, because my body has always been in such pain that I wake up and I have to lie in bed until the pain eases, and then my husband comes up and says, would you like to have breakfast with me? And sometimes I force myself out of bed, and now I wake up and there's no pain. And I did not expect such an immediate result. It was literally the next morning. And then I noticed little twinges because I had a forceps birth, and I noticed little twinges in my jaw shifting. Always had damage to these teeth here, and so this is where the twinges were. And I knew that my whole face was shifting. And now I am enjoying my life. Thank you so much, Marie.
I've had remarkable results since. My neck was broken in 2002 and I've had ongoing issues. But since I've had the treatment, my arms are no longer numb where they used to be in the past, and sleep is better. I lost about 7 pounds and my jawline improved remarkably, where it was from the injuries sustained from 10 years ago. I'm seeing work in progress now, and I'm really pleased with the results.
Afterwards, when I found that I could turn my head all the way round while driving, and having had whiplash twice pretty badly, that was pretty impressive immediately. I then found that I could stand properly, that I was actually standing upright, that my hips felt as though they were no longer tilted. I found that I could breathe more easily because my chest had opened out and my shoulders were going back. I found that I was no longer having the headaches, the neck ache, the shoulder pain, and going down into the fingers with the numbness. I was no longer getting frozen shoulder while driving, which would suddenly pull out and be very painful. I found that I was walking properly, and I've been stooped over like this for a long time. I have to really thank Marie-Agnes, because I didn't think it was possible at the age of 64 to get rid of these pains. I've had them for a long, long time, 40 years. And now, as far as I'm concerned, I've got a life to live. So, you know, now I can do it a lot better. Thank you.
Symptoms continued, and he could not even balance himself if he closed his eyes. He'd fall back on his head. As the second year progressed, he was getting worse again, and we were attended our doctor, our GP, regularly, and he said there was nothing wrong with him, he was fine. And on the third year, this year, we were at a function when his arms went into spasms, and they deformed, and his legs went into spasms as well. And we rushed him to the doctor, and they said it was nothing, he was okay. He was admitted into hospital, they couldn't find anything wrong with him. And by accident, through a friend, they asked us to call to see Marie-Agnes, and because of his, and she told us then that his axis alliance was out of place, the cranial was out of place, and when she did the procedure to put it back into line, his body straightened up, his shoulders were the same level, his arms were the same length, his legs were the same length, which we actually didn't realise were that they were out of sync with each other. Headaches left, and he is now same height, same length, legs, arms, same length, a happy-go-lucky young fella, now playing all the sports he wants, well able to balance himself, no slur of speech. Our young son now has his life back again.
I'm an acupuncturist, and I'm here in my practice in Claydon, Suffolk. I had the AtlasPROfilax treatment done 7 weeks ago today. I met Marie at a Harley Street practice with a trapped nerve in my neck, which I had for 7.5 weeks of real intensive pain. I was seeing my acupuncturist for relief, and also an osteopath, who were very good. However, they didn't correct the real issue or the underlying issue which I needed correcting. I found Marie and I went to see her at her Harley Street practice and done the consultation. I had the procedure done, which took less than 10 minutes, and instantly after that I was pain-free. Over the last 7 weeks I've been healing, because obviously as my spine is realigning, so my nervous system and all the systems are now working properly. I'm feeling so well, to the point that I've been telling all my patients that I'm currently working with who have musculoskeletal issues, about Marie and about this fantastic procedure, that they are now coming into my practice and have the procedure done. So Marie is now working on correcting their skeletal system or the mechanical system, whereas then I will help with the aftercare.
Straight away after the treatment, I felt amazing. I felt really light, and the first night I slept on my back and I felt like my back and my neck was straight, and I keep on sleeping on my back from then. And I have never done it before. I was always having problems after I was waking up with my shoulders and neck, and now it's completely gone. My swimming has improved, my running has improved, and if I work long hours, my neck and my back are not tired anymore. I can even feel that my jawline is straighter, which is quite amazing. But yes, I would highly recommend for anybody to do it, because it really does change a lot in your life.
Myself and my son came. His teeth were very much, he had very much buck teeth, and within about a month his teeth went back in, and they're straight now, so I don't have to go to the dentist, or I don't have to spend $3 grand on actually getting his teeth done with braces. For myself, instead of taking 3 years, I'm here now 2 years later, and I have taken my brace off and my teeth are straight. I'm just working on the lower ones now, and I have got really good results with the Atlas. I found 2 weeks after doing the Atlas, my upper back here, I was lying on the flat of my back because I felt it was just settling back into place, but I was lying down for a week, and after that I felt fantastic. I can now wear high heel shoes again. Also, I find my bowels are working much better, and I'm very grateful for Marie-Agnes for offering me this service. Thank you.
I suffered for quite a few years of pain on my shoulder and my neck, and even I had to wear braces because the dentist was convinced that was the problem. But after 3 years, and I had spent around £3,000, my pain hadn't gone away. So my last result was to see Mary, and really helped the treatment. I have had the treatment around a month and a half ago, and I felt so much better after the treatment. And as I told her, it's an ongoing process, so I can feel that every week is getting better. So today I came just for my last session, and now I can sleep, because before I was taking at least 2 paracetamols every single night to sleep. And now I'm really better. I can move my head. I'm standing taller as well, and I'm really happy with the treatment. And as I told her before, very well spent money, so I will do everything again. So I hope, if you have the same problem, please do, because you're going to be really glad. That's all. Thank you.
Since I had the treatment a couple of months ago, I stopped taking painkillers. My back pain is gone, lower back, upper back as well, pain in my arms, dizziness, migraines. It's all gone. I sleep very well as well, which I didn't before, and my posture is much better. And I'm full of energy, and I'm able to do many things which I couldn't have done before, and I would really highly recommend this treatment to everybody.
Okay, hi, I'm a 58-year-old GP and naturopath, and suffered very long term with restriction of neck movement, pain in my neck, leaning forwards a lot, whiplash injury in the past, TMJ dysfunction. I couldn't move my jaw properly, and I had migraines, and I was prone to falling. I couldn't lift my neck or look up at the ceiling. I came to Marie and had 1 treatment, and my neck was instantly relieved. I've never had the pain in my neck since. I've been able to look up, I've got a full range of movement, I can drive properly. I still get a little bit of tension in the neck muscles, but that could be other causes. But in general, I am 300% better. I'm very glad that I came.
And I used to get dreadful headaches, so much so that there would be weekends gone because I would just have to lay on the floor. And my neck felt as if it had like a knot like that in it all the time, and my shoulders felt really stiff. So I came and had the AtlasPROfilax done, and it's the most amazing sensation. and afterwards I felt as free as a bird. My neck felt free, my shoulders were relaxed, I could do yoga positions that I'd never been able to do before, and my left side that had always felt as if it was like this, all of a sudden I felt as if I'd become unstuck. So for any ailment, ache, pain, stiffness, I do thoroughly recommend to have AtlasPROfilax done.
I've had MS for over 10 years, and my symptoms have been difficulty with mobility and balance and fatigue, obviously, with the MS, and I had a lot of headaches. Since I had my Atlas done, I feel a lot stronger in my upper body. I stand a lot straighter. I don't feel like I'm going to lose my balance. I can move my head much better than I used to. I can reach things which I didn't used to be able to reach, and I can carry things which is much more comfortable. And I used to find things really heavy and used to sort of go over to the side when I was carrying things. So I feel like my eyesight has improved, and my peripheral vision especially. So in general, I feel quite good.
I've suffered with fibromyalgia for nearly 9 years, and it's completely changed my life. I couldn't do anything, I was in pain all the time, I struggled to get in and out of the shower, wash my hair, I couldn't play with my children, and I came for the Atlas fix and my pain is virtually gone. I don't have any difficulty washing or brushing my hair. I'm sleeping so much better. It's miraculous. I can't, you know, it's just, the difference is unbelievable. I used to have dizzy spells, that's all gone. I feel I'm better balanced, I'm stronger, I'm able to exercise for the first time in 9 years. I never imagined it would be as good as it is, and everyone needs to try it. It's wonderful. I've come back today for my second treatment, and I've had my son treated as well, and I'm going to have all my family done because it's just wonderful. The difference is amazing.
After my visit, it took about 2 or 3 weeks, and I was weaned completely off painkillers, and so the first treatment has resulted in me being free from a lower back pain and in the lumbar region, and also the arthritis in my ankle has now become quite painless. So it has been extremely successful. Thank you very much.
Right. I've noticed a big difference in my hand and my arms. So my shoulders, when I measured my elbows, that one was right down like that. And now when I put them together, they're the same, which is much nicer, much better. And my finger, this finger here, was really squint. It still is a bit squint, but when I put them next to each other, they're almost straight. And this one has always been very squint from being a child, and now it's actually gone straight. So much better.
I'm a yoga teacher from Hebden Bridge. I'm also a massage therapist. I had treatment with Marie in May 2016, and since then I've had many benefits. Before, I couldn't sit for very long in cross-legged. I could only sit for 10 minutes without changing position, and now I can sit for maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Also, I've noticed much more alignment. I've found my shoulders are more level. I've stopped having one-sided headaches that I had before. So I've had many good results, and I'm recommending Marie to my clients and anyone I think would benefit really, who suffers from the same problems with headaches and joint problems. So yes, I'm very grateful for the treatment.
Before I came for my treatment, I was suffering really, really bad migraines. Every morning I'd wake up with a bad headache, stiff neck. In fact, I couldn't sleep. I didn't know which side to sleep, which was better, which was worse, because I still woke up with the headaches. I also was suffering with hip problems. In fact, I've been to see the surgeon and I've had injections, and it was suggested that I needed a hip operation for replacement of the hip. I obviously didn't really want to go to those lengths, but I didn't think that the Atlas treatment would affect that, but it really has. I'm so pleased. It took a few weeks for everything to settle down, but now it's marvellous. I don't really get any headaches. I've had 1 or 2 migraines, but I'm not waking up every day with a headache. I tried 4 or 5 different pillows. I tried everything, but really, really, the Atlas treatment has worked for me.
I got a problem in my back, and now I feel so much better since I got Atlas from Marie-Agnes. So I can recommend anyone this treatment is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for helping me. I enjoy my life more now, happy, no pain. I can't be so grateful how much you helped me. Thank you so much.
I had the treatment and it wasn't painful to have, but I didn't think it would do much more than just help a bit. And on the way home on the bus, I suddenly realised what a noisy bus I was on and couldn't work out why it was so noisy. And I realised that for the first time in 50 years I could hear if I clicked my fingers on the left side, and I'd been deaf in my left ear since I was 12 years old. I was playing about with my sister and she hit my head against the wall, larking about, and I thought I had a perforated eardrum, and I was very sick for a week and I couldn't stand up and I had to hold on to the wall to move around, and ever since then I had tinnitus and in my ear constantly for the first couple of years, and then gradually fading away, but deafness completely for 52 years. And it never occurred to me to go back and find out if there was any treatment, because I thought perforated eardrums were just impossible to treat, and it hadn't crossed my mind it could be anything to do with my neck. And I just couldn't believe afterwards that I could not only hear, but I also, the balance that I'd lost came back. I was able to, when I got home I tried standing on one leg, and then I tried touching my toes, and then I tried standing on one leg and touching my toes, and it was just, I couldn't believe it. I phoned the people on the market and said, you've got to go back and tell her, I just can't believe I've got my hearing back. And I really thought it was just going to be a day or two, or it was even possibly my imagination. But it's 2 months later and it's brilliant. And I went with pain in my right side, and this was my left ear, and I wasn't even thinking about it, so I don't think it could have been psychological, because you wouldn't expect your right side to affect your left side. And I didn't even fill in on the form that I had to fill in that I'd ever had a head injury, because it was when I was 12 and I'm 65. So I completely dumbfounded by this. I didn't put anything on Marie-Agnes's website because I thought I didn't want to give false hope to somebody else. But I know 5 people who've had this treatment, and they've all had improvements of various sorts.
From doing Googling around 18 months ago, I found out about Atlas misalignment, and it was like reading a tick sheet of the symptoms that I've had. So the first thing I did was I tried something called Nooker, which is a form of chiropractic to realign the Atlas, and the first session I had some incredible results from it. I felt loose, I felt sharp mentally. It was quite incredible. I kept going back to have the treatment, and it would never hold, so it would make me feel brilliant for sometimes a week, sometimes 5 or 6 weeks, but it just wasn't gonna hold. And I was having to go to London every sort of 6 weeks to have it redone. And eventually, the reality is financially, I just couldn't afford to keep going. And I knew I had to look for something more permanent, which is when I went back onto Google and I found out about the Profilax treatment with Marie. So I came and saw her and had the treatment done. The reaction since then, I have felt very, very straight, very centred. My shoulders are very, very straight, which they haven't been. They've always been quite sort of wonky. I've had a lot of little things cleared up, some numbness in my toes that's cleared up. Breathing better, exercising better, feel physically stronger. And it's just something that I just kind of know that I am right and I'm centred, and I believe that my body now has a chance to function normally. So yeah, I'm very, very happy that I had the treatment done. So thank you.
I couldn't believe, but as soon as she started doing the treatment and she was treating my neck, I instantly felt some relief that was going down my neck to my leg, and I could feel tingling and pins and needles in my lumbar area, and then everything was going down my leg. Then I also felt it in both feet, also in my left feet, where I never ever had any problems with before. There was that hot feeling, like blood was filling all the gaps. I can't describe it another way. The pain was disappearing within the next few minutes. I just thought it's too good to be true. But I was so optimistic about everything, I even decided that my daughter should go through that treatment. During the same day, Marie agreed to do that, and I can say that my daughter, she's 12 years old, she had dog legs, the toes were going inside, and when she was running it was causing her pain, some kind of discomfort. She suffered with some headaches, which since the treatment, as soon as she came out of the bed, her feet became straight like that after 10 minutes of treatment. I was quite surprised. My daughter doesn't suffer with headaches anymore. I don't suffer with headaches. Before I was grinding my teeth, and also before I had very often pains in my jaw. Now the pain is gone. Also I feel more realigned. I felt much better. I felt more vigorous. I felt huge improvement. I was getting more alive. I felt like this was the best decision ever.
I had the Atlas treatment with Marie, and I'm absolutely amazed at how quickly things have healed. I had it in the morning, and by the time I got back late afternoon, I realized that my navel had shifted the 2.5–3 inches back to the center where it should be. My eyesight has improved tremendously. My glasses no longer bother me, and I no longer have vertigo. The pain in my ankle and arch of foot every time I walked has completely disappeared, as has the arthritis in my right hand. Breathing is much easier too now. I always felt when I tried to do deep breathing that there was a tight band across my ribs, and I just couldn't expand my lungs. All in all, I feel a totally different person, walking taller, breathing deeply, without any pain. Thank you, Marie.
When I came here 3 weeks ago, I could hardly walk into the health centre because my neck and my head were just so intensely tight, and it affected my whole body, and I was just weren't functioning. And Marie realigned my Atlas bone, and I felt a relief afterwards. I felt freer in my neck and my head, and instantly felt that my body, because although I've got fibromyalgia and I have had for a long time, but way before then, I've always had this droop this side of me, like twisted body. My foot was going in, which affecting just everything really. And the one big difference that I felt on the day that I had it done was that my body was realigned, both feet on the floor, feeling even weight. The difference was so noticeable, and since then it's helped me, I don't know, in a way, just feel better. All the tension's gone out of my neck and my head, but I still have some. Because I've got fibromyalgia, I do still have all the fibro symptoms. I'm still aching and hurting and fatigued and all of that. But at the same time, because I'm realigned, I'm straight, it just makes life better and easier, and I'm not waking up with headaches like I was before. I would wake up with bad headache, so bad. My head was that was it. My head actually hurt when I was laying down at night. My head on the pillow, it was that bad. It got so bad in my shoulders and neck. And since the treatment, my head does not hurt on my pillow. I still wake up with a bit of a headache sometimes, but nothing like I was before. I'm now not having to take strong painkillers for the neck and the head and my back, and haven't had to rub any ibuprofen gel or anything on there either. So that's good.
As soon as I had the treatment, my shoulders straightened up. I felt that I was more balanced. I was stronger in my shoulders and my spine. Also, the greatest improvement was that when I was wearing a cardigan or my bra straps, they weren't falling off of my shoulder, which has made a massive difference, because it was a really annoying thing to have to keep pulling my cardigan back up. Also, for the first time, I've been able to carry my handbag over my right shoulder rather than just on my left, because I'm now balanced on both sides. So that was a massive difference. And I've got a lot less pain in my back, feeling a lot more comfortable, and really pleased with the treatment.
I can sleep much better and got more energy, and it's done me the world of good. But the knock-on effect also means that I'm much straighter, more balanced when riding my horse, which has made an incredible difference for her and me, because we're far more into the biomechanical riding, and it's done us the world of good.
I read about Marie and came to see her 2 weeks ago, and she gave me the Atlas treatment, which was absolutely brilliant. I can now stand up straight and not leaning to the right, and I'm just really pleased I came. So thank you, Marie, for all you've done.
I've had years of abusing my neck through contact sport, and it got to a point where it was getting really painful to move my head from side to side. And after the second treatment, I've got full function back in it at the moment, so I'm really pleased.
Before I got my first treatment, I used to go to a chiropractor once a month. This is now August. I have not felt the need to go to my chiropractor, and I would highly recommend this procedure. Anybody that suffers from their back, stiffness, soreness, is an incredible investment that you will not regret.
I'm a chiropractor. I was recently introduced to Marie and the AtlasPROfilax adjustment, and I've certainly been very impressed with what they can do, especially with the machine they've got, and with Marie's experience in determining exactly where an Atlas has subluxated and how best to try and readjust it into its normal position. Atlas obviously is a very, very important bone to have positioned right. The rest of the spine really is dependent upon an Atlas being in the right position and motion and being able to move properly, and when the Atlas doesn't, the rest of the spine really suffers, and abnormal motion happens throughout the rest of the spine in form of compensations. I think a lot of chiropractors really struggle to get to adjust the Atlas really effectively, and I've certainly, when I've been introduced to Marie, and certainly from the feedback I've had from some of my own patients and my own experience when I got it done, I was very impressed with how much she is able to readjust it into the correct position, and just the kind of effect that then has afterwards. The machine is very powerful, can get in really deep, because I think she works on the muscles surrounding the Atlas. She's able to relax the area enough for that Atlas to move much better into that right position, whereas when you're trying to do a high velocity thrust directly onto the Atlas itself, it's a bit more difficult, and I think often we are able to relocate it to some degree, but just I think not to the degree that the AtlasPROfilax is able to do. So I've been very impressed, and I think I'd love to be able to work with someone who does this so that I can then focus in on the rest of the spine and nervous system, knowing that the Atlas is actually being set well. So whilst we are able to do certainly some very effective Atlas movements and adjustments, AtlasPROfilax I think makes for a great adjunct to that, to really get in a deep effective adjustment to that area, and hopefully then that'll then stay there until such time as the person suffers another trauma. Yeah, I think I would certainly like to be able to work a lot more closely with people who do the AtlasPROfilax type adjustments, because I think it complements chiropractic brilliantly. And I think at the end of the day, it's not really what profession gets people well, it's getting people well. And the outcome is the most important for the patient, not who actually does it. So I think the more we actually use each other and the more we complement each other, the better the result will be for everyone. Thank you.
This is my story. Having had the Atlas bone realigned, I discovered about a month later, all of a sudden my left foot went into a cramp, but it didn't hurt. It was a Saturday morning lying in bed, and all of a sudden I had to pull myself up from the side of the bed and sit up because I thought I was going to be in pain. But no, my foot arched and it just stayed arched like this. It didn't hurt, and it just kept vibrating like that, and then all of a sudden it went straight like that. And lo and behold, my bunion just disappeared off the face of the earth.
I'm a victim of a very bad chiropractor. I had a very bad experience 10 years ago where I had an artery trapped. Went to a lot of osteopaths. I've had all sorts of treatments, and I basically resigned myself to the fact that I would live perhaps 85% of my life of the time with a migraine, with a constant migraine and pain. And I've come to Marie, and after the first treatment, which was 3.5 weeks ago, I've probably had maybe 1 or 2 headaches. That is it. And they've gone very swiftly. So I'm hoping that it will carry on improving, but it's definitely made a big difference to me.
I felt that this was something that I needed to have done because I had severe pain in that area in my head and neck, and I have felt for many years that that bone had been out of place. And for many years, and I'm talking about 50 years here, I couldn't find an osteopath to actually do anything about it. This is not a bone that they tend to deal with. So I went on suffering, and as I got older, it got worse. Various riding accidents and falling off ladders and general gardening and stuff like that didn't actually help it, and eventually my spine started to deteriorate because it was being put under a great deal of pressure. I had 3 operations on the lumbar spine and 1 operation on the cervical neck spine because they needed to be decompressed, and this didn't alleviate the problems that were getting very bad in my head and neck then. The pressure in my head itself was building up very badly, and at times I felt as if I simply couldn't stand it any longer and I was just going to burst. I was having perpetual sinus problems, I was having balance problems, I was having all sorts of visual problems, and I was having almost constant earache. I have a GP who is totally uninterested in the health of his patients, so I got no help there, and I was told I was making it all up just to get attention. And I was really desperate because I knew perfectly well that could I find somebody to put this bone back into place, the problem would be solved. And I came to Marie-Agnes, and she did just that. She put the bone back into place just before Christmas 2009, and I have been feeling an enormous sense of relief, empowerment too, because I now feel that I'm back in charge of my own health. My head and neck are now better than they have ever been, and I think that's entirely due to her.
I'm so much better. My sleep pattern is amazing, and my hands do not have the same stiffness. my legs, I don't get pins and needles in them anymore, and I can honestly say it's definitely something you should try. What have you got to lose?
I've got to say that within hours of leaving here, having had the treatment, I felt different. Before I came, I could only move my head a little way like that, and that was really difficult for me. But by the next day, actually I could move my head a significant way, and that's maintained over the last couple of months, so I can really turn from one side to the other. I felt much more straight. My posture is different. I came with a lift in my shoe because my legs were slightly different lengths. With the realignment, I haven't had to wear a lift since, and my hips are actually in line now. I've had a back x-ray since, and that's shown that, so that is really delightful. But just in terms of how I feel as a person, I actually feel that I am much more in alignment, not just physically, but actually within myself. So this has really worked for me, and I'm absolutely delighted a couple of months further on to be actually saying the progress has been sustained, and hopefully it will full stop. So thank you.
It really worked. Within minutes I felt so different. I felt like a pressure had been taken off me, and really amazed at how the pins and needles completely stopped overnight. They just literally weren't there any longer. I had a few little twinges a few days ago, so I've come back for a review, and we've had another little treatment, another different treatment, and it's really amazing how clean you feel, if that's the right word. You just feel lifted, no pain, and completely smooth.
The biggest thing I've seen is my posture. I used to have my left hip 2 inches higher and 2 inches behind my right hip. It's been put back into place by numerous physiotherapists and chiropractors, and normally after 2 to 3 days I will be out of alignment again. I'll be walking with my feet 10 to 2, so I was waddling along, my backside would be stuck out and I would feel unbalanced. After having my first treatment, as soon as I stood up, my sister who was with me said she could see the difference. I felt in alignment, my legs felt the same length, and I was walking with my feet straight forward for the first time in my life. 2 months later, I'm still in alignment. I don't have the headaches, I don't have the pins and needles, and I cannot recommend Marie enough. She's been fantastic.
I'm here with Maria, and I'm happy to say the treatment I've had has been fantastic. I've noticed a difference immediately. I've had a bad neck and shoulders for a long time, very stiff, very achy. Having been told it was arthritis, I decided I could do nothing until I saw Maria's advert. I recommend it. I now am dizziness free to a degree. Occasionally I get dizzy if I hold my neck in a funny position for a long time. Otherwise, I would recommend it. I feel good.
After my visit, it took about 2 or 3 weeks, and I was weaned completely off painkillers, and so the first treatment has resulted in me being free from a lower back pain and in the lumbar region, and also the arthritis in my ankle has now become quite painless. So it has been extremely successful. Thank you very much.
But since having that done, I can feel a bit now of a dents here because the muscles have relaxed, and my jaw can open widely, like to the maximum without straining and hurting me. I've noticed I feel a lot lighter in my body. I walk a lot more faster, I feel light in my feet, and I feel more calmer, more grounded as well. Like I feel I've got more emotional stability, like more clarity, and I notice my eyesight is clearer as well. Yeah, I also had a condition called earworms, which can be derived from my hearing loss, which I've got. And basically it's when you can hear music quite a lot, and I noticed it really helped to reduce that. I mean, I've been doing other work on months that, but that actually really catapulted me forwards in resolving that condition.
Since she realigned me, I didn't feel any pain anymore in my lower back, and I can do anything normally. When I wake up normally. When I do anything, I do it normally. She do also for me and my son as well a follow-up appointment, which is free of charge. And from that follow-up, she find everything is fine, and she do for us also a kind of neck massage and back massage, and I'm very satisfied with her service, and it gives me too much benefit, and I don't suffer anymore from the back pain. Thank you, Marie.
I came to Marie in October because I had 2 slip discs in my back. I couldn't walk unaided. I couldn't walk down the stairs with 2 feet, and I was really struggling and in a lot of pain. Since the treatment, I've been able to walk normally. The pain is gone. I had a little relapse about 3 months later, but that's again gone. I started off with 2 slip discs, and after an MRI I've now only got 1. So there's definitely been an improvement, and my life is amazing compared to what it used to be.
First, as soon as I had it done, it was the most fantastic feeling. When I stood up, it's like a rush of blood goes to your head. I know that sounds crazy, but I just felt straight, and I just felt, oh, I've got a bust, because I've always been hunched before. I can't tell you how amazing it is. My whole life has changed. I'm 52 at 53, and I wish I'd have had it done in my 20s, because I've lived this life, and it was only because my neck seized I sought this treatment, and I've lived this dizzy life, tired life, full tension in the back of my neck, and now it's all gone. I don't take headache tablets anymore. I used to have Sulfidin everywhere. I don't take those anymore. I can move my neck freely. My eyesight is actually better. It's bizarre, but it's better, and I have complete freedom. No more fatigue. I'm just so excited. I could, it's really, really good. It's the best thing I had done.
I came for treatment for fibromyalgia, neck and really bad neck pain. I've had a treatment, feeling a lot better. Pain is reduced, a lot more movement. My spatial awareness is a lot better. I'm able to walk a lot better. I'm able to breathe a lot better. It's been really, really amazing to be able to come and have this treatment.
And I've been living with fibromyalgia for over 10 years. So I came to see Marie to have my Atlas realignment, and almost immediately I felt taller, and I felt a release of tension on my upper body. The sensitivity I had been having on the top of my skull, which actually got me to cut my hair because I couldn't even wear my hair up, went almost immediately, as well as the sensitivity around my hands, especially my right hand, which is the hand that I use to work, cook, write. I'm an artist, so I do a lot of work with my hands, so it's been really amazing to not have sore hands after doing some work. My balance has improved a lot. I was struggling with bumping into things, bumping into like the corners of things or the edges of doors, and I've really noticed a big improvement in my balance.
Straight away feel the muscles around my neck and my shoulders relaxing. And after the treatment, when I walked around a bit, I could feel that my feet were actually straighter on the floor. My feet used to turn out a bit and roll inwards. I could straight away feel that I was walking more flat, and it felt more comfortable, which was great. After I left the treatment, I went shopping, and as soon as I got out of the car and started walking, I could feel a difference in my walking. I just felt a lot more stable and a lot more balanced. I was walking more balanced on my feet. My feet weren't rolling inwards as much. I also noticed a little bit of a difference in my eyes, not so much in my eyesight, but it was sort of brighter and a bit sharper, which was quite strange. But I noticed that as I was driving home. When I got home, I looked in the mirror because I wanted to see the difference in my feet, because I felt I was walking differently. And I noticed straight away that my knees that used to turn inwards were facing straight ahead. It was almost like my legs were completely in line. And that's made a huge difference to my walking. I'm finding walking a lot easier. I had lower back pain as well, and that's improved. My neck is just so much looser. I wake up in the morning and I can't believe when I move my neck around how loose it is. So overall, I'm very, very happy with the AtlasPROfilax treatment I had.
I immediately felt that things were quite a bit looser. In the following weeks, I saw my podiatrist, who confirmed that my orthotics that I was wearing were no longer right for me. So everything was a little bit more even. The discrepancy in leg length was corrected. And I also saw my chiropractor, who for the first time, and I've been seeing a chiropractor for about 1.5 years, 2 years, she confirmed that she didn't need to manipulate the joints in my neck because everything felt a little bit looser. So I think for me it has made a huge difference. I've also noticed after exercise occasionally I would get migraines. I've not had any migraines since the treatment.
I've just experienced the AtlasPROfilax, which is the most amazing treatment I've ever had. I've been working in therapies for many, many years. I'm 67, and this one is very, very special indeed, and it makes a huge amount of sense. When I had the treatment, it was very interesting. It's amazing. I've got no problems. I feel really alert, really alive, and very, very glad I've had the treatment.
The first thing I noticed was that I had a pain, like an electric shock went down my arm, and my thumb has been very painful for many years. And today, after 24 hours, it's completely gone. What else can I say? It's my overall posture, I seem to be more upright now, and less stooped over, which for my age at 66 I think is a tendency most of us try to avoid, and I feel 100% and well worth looking at.
I had difficulties walking. I had two new knee replacements, and it was difficult walking, but I was getting on, but I was slow and I felt the pain. Anyway, cutting a long story short, my son asked me to come and see Marie-Agnes, and I came, and I was thinking, oh, I don't think I can get this done. You know, that's the way I felt. I said, I lay on her couch, and I wasn't able to, I was very bad getting up on it, but when I came to get down, it was wonderful, and I showed off. I had to show them how I walked around the couch, and I was very, very pleased, and I am very genuine about all that. I said, and ever since I have felt wonderful, but I've had a bad fall, and I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I did. They lifted me up in a shopping centre, and a few days came and I was fine again, and I still am very fine, and I'm very grateful to Maria. Yes.
I've suffered for a number of years with vertigo. I was diagnosed a year ago with labyrinthitis. I was also diagnosed a few months ago with BPPV, which is a benign vertigo condition, and always felt unsteady before having the Atlas treatment. After the Atlas treatment, it's just completely changed my life. In the last 2 weeks, I haven't experienced any sensation of vertigo whatsoever, whereas before it was a daily occurrence. It's completely turned my life around, and to me, I just think it's the miracle cure. In in everything else as well, I feel so fit and healthy. I don't experience any headaches, whereas I did on a daily basis. I can sit at my desk all day and not feel any pain, and I feel like I can exercise and just live my life the way it should be. It sounds cheesy, but I can. So I just think everyone should just go and have it done. My family have, and I would just encourage anyone. So thank you so much, Marie, because it's just changed the way I live. So thank you.
I've had sinusitis pretty badly for many, many years, especially at night. I couldn't get off to sleep, and it was really quite distressing. And I also had a lot of pain in my shoulders, and since I've had the Atlas, I've had no pain in my shoulders whatsoever, and no sinusitis in the evening or any time of day. And I've got full flexibility of my neck, and it's absolutely great, and I feel wonderful, really do feel well, and it's done me proud.
I'm a retired chiropractor. I've had a neck problem since around 1983, and nothing seems to have sorted it. I've been to osteopaths, chiropractors, acupuncturists. All of them have helped to some degree, but only for a short time. I spent an awful lot of money trying to get my neck sorted. In 1991, I did a chiropractic course myself because I did find some relief from a particular chiropractic treatment. So I trained in that particular way. And over my 4 years of training, I had obviously lots of treatments on my neck, all of which helped, but it never ever cleared up. 2 years ago, having really trod through a lot of paths to try and find relief, I had an MRI scan. The MRI showed that there was narrowing of disc spaces, arthritis and stenosis, which is narrowing, causing a lot of pain down my arm and particularly awful headaches. This went on for probably a couple of years. I tried various things. I had a greater occipital nerve block by a neurologist, which helped temporarily. I really didn't know what to do. I went back to chiropractors, I went to osteopaths. Temporary relief. And then by pure chance, I happened to be on YouTube one day and I saw somebody who was claiming to be able to adjust an Atlas in an unusual way, a way I wasn't used to. So I made contact with Marie. She said, come along, this is what I can do. Lots of people have gained great benefit from having treatments with me. Come and see what I can do for you. She didn't promise me anything. She didn't talk about pains and instant cures. She said, come along and see what I can do for you. She's only a little lady, French lady. She sat me in a chair, explained to me exactly what she was going to do in great detail. I sat in the chair and experienced something I'd never experienced before. Having come in with my eyesight being a little bit blurred, tremendous headache, neck with very little rotation, she started to work on my neck with this strange machine which she put a little bit of pressure on and pressed into various parts of my neck, and I wasn't sure until I stood up after and thought, something's changed, something's different. Instantly I felt my eyesight was clearer. Instantly my headache had gone, and I left there feeling very light and very, very pleased with what had happened to me there. Now the muscles in the bottom of my neck, where they join onto the occiput, the back of your skull, is mainly where she worked. It was an absolute beautiful relief. For the last 6 to 7 months, I've never felt better. I've got more energy, my sight is clearer, I just feel well, I sleep well, and I've come back today just for what I call a top-up with Marie, because I know it works for me. So give it a try.
I've been having problems with my neck for over 4 years, constant tension and pain in the neck, and all different types of things done, especially MRIs, which I paid private to go, and everything turned up alright. Chiropractors, everything was the chiropractors and ENT, because obviously I was having dizziness and off balance feelings. But 4 years I suffered with it, and obviously now I've had the Atlas realigned, and it's the best thing I ever done. I waited so long, and obviously it only takes 15 minutes and it's done for life, and everything seems to be a lot better with me now, so happy days.
Where to begin? Well, over a year ago now, I started with really bad headaches, neck, couldn't move my neck to the right, really, move my head, sorry, to the right with any great comfort. Went to the doctors constantly. The ER, at one point they thought I was having a stroke, sent me for a CAT scan on my brain, that come back negative. MRI on my brain come back negative. Back to the doctors again constantly, who started treating me for sinusitis. After 3 lots of antibiotics, because the antibiotics, I don't know, they seem to work, and then I'd be back there, sinusitis again, 3 lots of treatment for sinusitis spread over a couple of months. They eventually sent me for a scan, for a camera up my nostrils. That proved clear, so they sent me for an MRI then of my sinuses, which come back negative. So basically they've been treating me for sinusitis, and I never had sinusitis. And doctors didn't have a clue. 6 months ago I walked into the treatment room here, like I said, could barely move my neck to the right, walked out, and it was a little better. After a couple of weeks it got better and better and better. Headache stopped more or less immediately. Yeah, and it all sort of got back to normal. I'm probably 95% where I was 18 months ago now, and it's all thanks to Marie, basically, because when I first walked in, I'm not joking, it was headaches every day, migraines every day, and maybe 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, it took a couple of weeks to get the body back to normal after the first treatment, but like I said, the headaches stopped immediately. And we're 6 months on now after the initial treatment, and feeling better every day. And thank you very much, Marie, because she was brilliant. That's all I can say, really.
I'm doing the talking because I got a big mouth, she says. She's been suffering from ME or CFS for the last 1 year. We got to know about Atlas alignment on the net, and in fact initially we went to a dentist up in Purley who wanted £6,000 to sort it out. Got to hear about Marie. We came down here and she did a treatment, and my wife felt really better after the first treatment. We came back to see her, I think about 3 weeks later, and guess what? She did the treatment again, and when we walked back to the car, my wife wanted to go for a walk, and she hasn't been able to walk for the whole of last year. And her alignment was so perfect, and she got her posture back, and guess what? Is now 6 months later, she's feeling much better, and she got her own walking style back. What a difference. I cannot emphasize enough the value of this treatment, and it's a big thank you from me and you to Marie. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, when I came in today I had sciatica in the back of my leg, which I've had for the last year. Been going to a chiropractor, which eased off 1 or 2 days, but then it got so I needed to go every week. But with this treatment, for the first appointment, which was approximately 5 or 6 weeks ago, it went 99%. Now it's gone 100% after today's visit. Also, I always had problems of bending round to see behind me, but after the first visit, everything in that area disappeared completely.
I had lots of problems on the left side of my body, especially around my hip area and my shoulder area. There was a lot of pain, and when I was walking I had problems with my foot as well. Straight after the first treatment, the whole pain just went away. It was just so wonderful. I was very pleased, and I can highly recommend the treatment. Marie is a very nice person, and if you do have some problems, any kind of problems in your body, definitely go for this treatment. Highly recommend it.
Many years ago, when I was a teenager, I had a road accident
and it gave me damage to my left arm, nerves damage and a few broken bones, but since then I've never been able to have full range of movement in my left arm, and since the first treatment with Marie I've now got a better range of movement that I've never ever had, and I'm truly grateful for that, and I'm really happy with it.
I have to say that my neck is feeling so much freer. I felt like I was walking on air on cushions. My body feels very relaxed, my mind is very relaxed. I found that instead of having the usual chatter going on, I'm deeply relaxed. I would recommend it to everyone. So if you've got a back problem, I've seen people come in very stooped and go out after 45 minutes very, very straight. Okay, thank you.
After the first session, I do Reiki and Sakim healing, and I felt the energy flow was a lot more profound, so it's really enhanced my healing practice.
Before I did this, I had always woke up with a sore neck. I could never find a good position to sleep in, and I had an overactive right side, like the muscles on my right side of my core were always really tight, and after I felt really light. I could run farther. My neck didn't sore as much as it usually is, and the left side of my body, the muscles there, they feel just as strong, and yeah, just better overall.
In 2014, I had 2 wisdom teeth removed under general anaesthetic. Afterwards, I woke up and the left side of my body wasn't right. And I just felt weakness and felt like I had trapped nerves everywhere. So I had my Atlas done about 3 weeks ago, and now I'm feeling like I've got more energy. I'm straighter. My shoulder feels like it hangs better, and there is less pain. So I'm just waiting to see how much more healing I can do, but I'm feeling very good.
Hi, my name's Cam. I came to see Marie for a back problem I have. I've had it for a long time. I've had it about 4 years. I've seen so many therapists. Before I came to see Marie, I looked into somebody who does Atlas alignment, and I had to go for the x-rays, and I had about 7 treatments there. But what I found was, after having to keep going backwards and forwards, I found that I still wasn't aligned. So I thought I'd try someone else. And I came to Marie. I didn't have to have any x-rays, and I thought, well, I'll just give her a go and see what happens. I had a follow-up, and I had no problems with my neck, my back. I felt more stable. My posture, my concentration, all has improved without even me realising it. And I didn't even have the x-rays. So I have brought my children here. I've actually recommended a couple of my friends here. All of them have said that after follow-up they've felt fine. Yeah, it's actually changed my life having this treatment, because I actually thought I'd have to keep coming back, and I haven't. So I'm really pleased with the results. So thank you, Marie.